Assalamu Alaikum, beautiful people. Welcome or welcome back. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Sumayya Imam and you're welcome to my channel. So today's a Quran story. I'm so excited. I thought not to delay the story any further as we are preparing for Ramadan. It is good for me to share a Quran story. It is the story of Ad and Thamud. So, before we begin the story, I want to throw up a little quiz, like 4 to 5 questions. And if you're able to answer these questions correctly, I am happy for you. I'm proud of you. MashaAllah, keep going. Or if you're not able to answer them correctly, that's okay too. But you should try to concentrate more on Quran stories, like try to dive more and learn Quran stories. But for me, a few months ago, before learning this story, I couldn't answer these questions. 3 seconds to answer each question. Question number one: which prophet was sent to Thamud? A. Hud, B. Saleh, and C. Dawood. The answer is Saleh. Who came first between Ad and Thamud? Is it Ad or is it Thamud? Diling! It's Ad. Thamud were their successors. What were the people of Ad destroyed with? A. Stones, B. Wind, C. Water. They were destroyed with wind. Question 4. What were the people of Thamud destroyed with? A. Water, B. Birds, C. A loud sound wave. I feel like the answer of this one is a bit obvious. MashaAllah. So did you get these questions right? If you didn't get them right, stay tuned and just watch this video, because among Ad and Thamud, the people of Ad existed first. They were giants. They built mansions. Like, they were really, really mighty, mighty giants, the way the story says it. They came after Prophet Noah and his people. They were rich, so they built mansions on mountains. They loved to build. Slowly, slowly, the money started getting into their heads and they slowly started to forget Allah. What the Ad did is they didn't completely disregard Allah, but they started to worship idols, deities they created themselves. I'm just giving some short overview of the story, by the way. We're forgetting the Almighty. They felt like they had power. You know, when astaghfirullah, somebody gets so powerful and they feel like, who is more powerful than I am? They feel like they had all the power and they were forgetting the Almighty. There are many verses about the story of Ad and Thamud in the Quran. If you open your English Quran, you will see it. The first one I want to read today is in chapter 7, verse 65 to 72. And to people of Ad, we sent their brother Hud. Prophet Hud was sent to Ad. When they say their brother, is because he was from amongst them. Allah picked up a messenger from amongst them. So it's not a foreigner and they shouldn't easily reject him. Prophet Hud said, "O my people, worship Allah. You have no other ilah but him. Will you not fear Allah?" The leaders of those who disbelieved amongst his people said, "Verily we see you in foolishness, and verily we think you are one of the liars." They didn't believe Prophet Hud. Obviously, they're feeling powerful, they're feeling this, that, and then this commoner is coming to tell them that worship only Allah, stop worshipping your deities, stop doing this, stop doing that. You want us to change our lifestyles when we're feeling like we're the most powerful and the most rich people and the richest people. "O my people, there is no foolishness in me, but I am a messenger from the Lord of the Alameen, from the Lord of all mankind. I convey to you the messages of my Lord, and I am a trustworthy advisor for you." The second one I want to share with you is in chapter 51, verse 41 and 42. Chapter 51 is Surah Zariyat. Verse 41. And in Ad, there is also a sign when we sent against them the barren wind. It spared nothing that it reached, but it blew into broken spreads of rotten ruins. Prophet Hud had already kept preaching, and they told him he was a liar. They told him he should stop bringing up stories and He's not going to stop them from worshipping what their fathers and forefathers worshipped. So they were not going to accept him. And he warned them against Allah's torment, and they mocked. They felt like he's just saying things and it's not going to happen. Allah sent a wind to destroy them. And as the story goes, there was nothing left of the people of Ad. Their mountains, their fine architectural buildings, absolutely nothing was left except the stories for us to see. And the people that left with prophethood, some people did believe in him. So he left with a group of people, just be like Prophet Noah, save the people. So prophethood too left with a group of people, alayhi salatu wasalam. But the people of Ad that were rich and were this and were that, may Allah save us from hellfire. They said that's why like the rich people are the ones that are more in hellfire. The verse 127 says, "No reward do I ask of you for it. My message is just about Islam. My reward is only from the Lord." I want to talk about this, please. You notice in stories of the prophets how they tell their people, I'm not asking you for anything. All I'm asking you to do is believe and change your bad ways. That's all I'm asking you to do. I don't need you to pay me. I don't need you to buy me off, because astaghfirullah, even at the time of Prophet, some of the Quraysh wanted to buy him off and things like that. I don't need you to do that. My reward is with Allah. All I need you to do is just listen. And they don't listen. They try to buy them off instead. And the prophets never did anything for money. You get? So let's move to the part of the story of Prophet Saleh and the people of Thamud. I want you to get this into your head. It is Hud to Ad and Saleh to Thamud. Hud to Ad, Saleh to Thamud. Okay. Prophet Saleh was from a wealthy family. He was known and he was extremely intelligent. So the people of Thamud were a different breed. They were successors of the people of Ad. And these people were also giants like the people of Ad. Let's say they were like their grandchildren. They came years after people of Ad were destroyed. And they just became like, when they came, they just like became like their forefathers. They were giants, and they also started to make those kind of huge buildings. Except the buildings of people of Thamud were more advanced. I mean, they are coming years later. So it was more sophisticated, and these people were smarter than the people of Ad. Their buildings were beautiful. They were big, and they built on mountains. You know the way right now we have like vacation houses? They built houses that they didn't live in. Like they had their own house, and then they're just going to build one extra random huge house somewhere. That's what people with vacation mansions do, yeah? So that was like the life of people of Thamud. They wasted money a lot. And Prophet Saleh, he started preaching to them. He was like, oh my people, stop worshipping your gods and this and that. In their own case, they didn't even believe in Allah. Like they just believed in their idols. While people of Ad were like doing shirk. So I'll read from Surah Hud, which is chapter 11, verse 62. He said, "O Saleh, you have been among us a figure of good hope, and we wished for you to be our chief. Till this new thing that you have brought, that we leave our gods and we should worship your God." The people of Thamud wanted to appoint Prophet Saleh alayhi salam as like a chief, because they saw how intelligent he was, and he was known, and he was from a rich family. So they actually respected him. But when he now brought about Islam, and when he brought about Allah, they're like, ha, you that we used to respect you, where did you bring this new thing from? Like we actually thought you could be our chief, but now you've brought this new thing to us. What do you mean? You get? Do you now forbid us the worship of what our fathers have worshipped? But we are really in grave doubt as to that which you invite us. That's as to monotheism. Prophet Saleh asked them, what do I do for you to believe me? They said they wanted a sign. He said, okay. They should ask for the sign, and he would see if he can ask Allah so that there would be a proof. And they agreed. Prophet Saleh agreed with them that when this sign comes, you guys are going to believe. So you should ask for what you want as your sign. The elders gathered around, the rich ones and all gathered, and they said they wanted something nobody had ever heard of. They suggested they wanted a she camel, a female camel, one that was very huge. Now remember, these people are already giants, but they wanted a camel that's like really, really huge, that nobody has ever set eyes on that type of camel before. One. There's another part of story that said they wanted the camel to come out from a rock, and they should actually see it walking out of a rock. That detail is not in the Quran, but it's in the tafsir, that the camel actually came out from a rock. So Prophet Salih said, okay, they agreed and they went to a particular place to see the camel walk out of the rock. And he's like, okay, I've proved what you people want me to prove. But there's only one instruction, and one instruction only, that comes with this camel. Do not touch her and do not harm her. And that instruction is from Allah. Do not harm this camel. And they all agreed. Camel has come. A few people started to believe him after saying that with their own eyes. Like, okay, this camel was not giving birth to. This camel just appeared. You get? So a few people started to believe him that, okay, Allah actually exists. There's a Lord that can actually do something like that. He said, here is a she camel. It has a right to drink water, and you have a right to drink on one day. And touch her not with harm, lest the torment of the great day should seize you. So here, they have a well in the place, people of Thamud, and like the she camel was taking up their water. So they had to divide it. They were like, today, this she camel will be the one to drink water. Then tomorrow, you people and your animals will drink the water. Just now, they were human beings. Initially, they agreed. Later, they started getting tired. They started complaining, she's finishing our water. Also, they started getting angry because some people started believing. I mean, you said you wanted a sign, and when the sign comes, you're going to believe. So some people started believing Prophet Saleh. The rich and the top ones among them started getting angry. First, about the water division. Second, because people started believing. So they were just uncomfortable with the camel. They came together and did a huge thing. The simple instruction that came with this camel was, do not harm her. And they came together and killed the she camel. The next verse says, but they killed her and they became regretful. So the torment overtook them. Verily, and this is indeed a sign, yet most of them are not believers. And verily your Lord, He is indeed the Almighty, the most merciful. They gave you simple instruction you couldn't follow. Punishment is here. Prophet Saleh told them, wait for 3 days. 3 days in your houses, and you will see what will happen to you after they kill the camel. So the first day passed by and they're like, nah, nothing happened. He's lying. They were being sarcastic and they were mocking him. The second day passed by, nah, nothing happened. On the third day, subhanallah, there was a loud scream. There was a loud scream, like a sound wave or like a shout from the way the story is, that destroyed every single one of them that didn't believe. Every single one that participated in killing that camel, every single one of them. Like, imagine a very, very loud, terrible sound. It didn't leave anybody behind. The story says, at the bottom of the story that says, on like their colors changed before they died. On the third day, they turned black before they died. So the interesting thing, the difference between the people of Thamud and people of Ad were completely destroyed and their buildings were completely gone. But people of Thamud, their buildings exist to this day that I'm sitting in front of this camera and talking to you, and to the day you are watching this video, their buildings exist as a sign from Allah. How fascinating is that? This is more than 2,000, 3,000 years ago. What am I saying? Prophet was 1,400 plus years ago. So this is more than 2,000, 3,000 years ago. And the buildings still exist to date. And to date, even with the modern technology, if you go there as a human being, like as somebody from this day and age, you still admire those buildings. That's to tell you how smart and intelligent they were and how beautiful the designs were. But the buildings are there as signs and not there for tourism. So people don't go there much. They say it's somewhere after Medina. There are so many verses and stories in the Quran about people of Thamud, people of Ad, and you could go deeper into it to study on your own. This is me briefing through the few lessons I have learned. You'd hear different ayahs like وَإِذَا ثَمُودُ أَخَاهُمْ صَالِحٌ or Ad أَخَاهُمْ Hud, you know, their brother Hud or their brother Salih. There's a verse in Quran itself that says فَدَمْدَمَ عَلَيْهِمْ رَبُّهُمْ. That one is scary. Even if you don't understand Arabic, when you hear damdama, you know that this is a strong word. It's describing like the destruction Allah sent upon them. Oh, that part is scary. May Allah allow us to be people that are grateful, people that are contented with what He has given us. May He not allow us to be people that will turn our backs on His signs that are very obvious. And may Allah allow us to see a meaningful, peaceful, and productive Ramadan, inshallah, and many more to come. Allahuma Balligna Ramadan. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked anything in the video or you learned anything, please share the video and also subscribe if you haven't. Also, drop your comments about anything you know of Ad and Thamud that I didn't state. Drop your comments. Thank you so much. Masalama.